1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Non-profit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
This video is sponsored by Kush Online, your home for cute, comfortable, curvy wear. Kush takes the stress out of getting dressed. Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome to a video presentation. You have just entered CrimeTube by Just Me, CMB. Today we are going to do commentary on a set of brothers who tried to unalive their parents. They eventually give confession, but the interesting thing is trying to figure out the what and the why of it all. So let's not be hasty. Let's jump right on into this presentation. Let me bring the screen up. Just one brief moment.
The morning of September 5th, 2015 in Gwinnett County, Georgia, a confused and desperate mother calls 911. She begs the dispatcher to quickly send the police to her home to save her from her own children.
They've attacked me and my husband. They drugged us with Xanax. They've attacked us and they're trying to kill us. Please hurry. Just down the phone, okay? Please.
The caller, Yvonne Irvin, tells the emergency dispatcher that she overheard her two sons, ages 22 and 17, talking about Xanax, the drug she assumes they slipped into her husband's food or drinks the night before. As Yvonne wakes up from her heavy drug-induced sleep, injured and struggling to breathe, she hides in her room and makes a life-saving phone call to the Gwinnett County Police. Meanwhile, her husband Zachary attempts to distract their children and get the neighbors' attention by entering the garage and honking the car horn.
They're trying to attack my husband. I don't know.
Do you hear what's going on?
They have a shotgun. We have a shotgun and a pistol in the house, and I can't find my pistol, so I'm assuming they've taken it, and they have his shotgun.
Yvonne tells the dispatcher that the boys are armed. They've already beaten both of their parents and stabbed their father multiple times. As the dispatcher asks Yvonne questions in an attempt to keep her calm, the worried mother continues to beg for rapid assistance.
So I don't know if they're going to plan on shooting him or not, but please hurry, please. They strangled me and beat me.
It's a situation which no parent likely ever imagines they'll be in. Injured, drugged, and unsure why their own children have executed such a brutal attack against them.
So I don't know what's going on.
Say it again, ma'am. I can't hardly hear you.
I said I don't know why they've done this. I really don't. I guess they have some.
I don't know why she's trying to carry on this long conversation with this lady. Now, assumably so, she probably does have help already on the way, but I don't know. I just feel like that she should be trying to make sure that she's safe, ask questions like that instead of having her continuously beg them for help.
They want the insurance money. I'm not sure.
Then suddenly, the call takes a turn.
I just heard them say, "Where did Mom go?" They headed upstairs now.
1 second passes. Then the sound of a struggle.
Hello?
The police are on their way. It's on their way.
Hello? Hello, Yvonne? Hello? Hello, Miss Yvonne? Hello?
The call ends after nearly 30 seconds of silence from Yvonne's end. Luckily, police are already on their way to the Irvin family's upscale neighborhood. When officers arrive on the scene, however, the home smells like gas. There are burn marks on the carpet, damage to the family's car, and blood in the garage. The father, Zachary, is found severely injured and fighting for his life, while Yvonne Irvin has collapsed on the side of her bed. Police find the two brothers still at the scene. One is in the garage, and the other is lying on the floor upstairs in the bathroom.
Their names are Chris and Cameron Irvin.
Their name are what?
Chris and Cameron Irvin.
Once in custody, detectives separate the brothers, and their demeanors are entirely different. The oldest, Chris, appears stressed, but not distraught. He keeps his head down as he waits for the detectives to enter the gray, windowless room. Cameron, only 17 years old, is inconsolable. Detectives start with Chris.
My question is, you're inconsolable because you tried to beat up your mama and daddy? I mean, shouldn't they be the one upset?
Tell me what happened this morning.
I'm not really sure. I remember it smelled like gas in the house. That's it. I woke up, it smelled like gasoline.
What'd you do after you smelled that? You know, what happened after that? What happened to your face right there?
I got hit with a gun.
Who did that?
I have no idea.
Chris doesn't seem to be open to talking just yet, so investigators try a different approach. They begin to go backward in time, creating some distance between Chris and the event that landed him in the interrogation room. Detectives ask Chris questions about high school, playing football at the University of Charleston, and the colleges he's attended. He also describes his time in the Army. For now, Chris seems like a normal 22-year-old young man. In another room, Chris's younger brother Cameron is struggling to keep it together. For several minutes, Cameron can be seen rocking back and forth, trying to soothe his high emotions. At one point, he literally collapses on the ground. Soon, police enter and ask Cameron to get up. While Chris is speaking freely and looking more relaxed, Cameron is in turmoil. The sight of his father's blood on his hands and his memories of the attack he committed that morning are too much for him to bear. If the brothers thought out and executed the attack together, why does Cameron appear so distressed? As investigators begin questioning Chris about his personal life, he reveals a few possible motives to the police.
If they thought this out, whatever this is, and whatever, it seems like they would have had a more organized plan of action, um, instead of whatever they did here. And like he said, he's acting like he was sleeping, he just woke up. Now, if the other brother is the one who carried out this action or who made the decision to do whatever was done, why would he be so upset? That he got caught, maybe? I mean, it's kind of weird.
You got a girlfriend or anything?
No, sir.
No girlfriend?
No, sir.
So you moved back home a month ago, a couple weeks ago?
In this line of questioning, the investigator begins moving closer and closer to the day of the attack.
Yes, sir.
A month ago, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Get your own. It's the same house that you grew up in, basically.
Yes, sir.
Well, tell me about your family, your parents. You always get along with them?
No, sir.
No. Anything in particular? Like, were they strict or anything about your parents? Like your mom, was she a stay-at-home mom or she worked too?
She worked too.
What kind of work did she do?
Computer programming.
35 minutes into the interrogation, Chris mentions his younger brother Cameron for the first time.
When you were growing up, did you ever get in trouble or anything with them? Like running away or anything?
No, my brother ran away though.
Your brother did? Were they abusive or anything towards you guys? I mean, any kind of way when you were younger?
Chris hesitates before answering.
I was the one that was like always just, I guess, kind of took everything.
Chris describes his younger brother as the more sensitive, vulnerable sibling.
He, on the other hand, is, I would say, a little bit more fragile I don't know, one time him and my dad got into an argument. My dad slapped him right in the face. And I mean, he slapped me before too, so it didn't really bother me. But my brother slapped him right back, and all hell broke loose. And then he ended up running away. I had to call my friends to help me find him. And the police had to find him and escort him home.
In his story, Chris is clearly his brother's protector. As the interrogation continues, he details his parents' actions, which allegedly created hostility in there.
This reminds me so much of the Menendez situation. The story, the interrogation, how things went, how one brother was weak, one brother was strong, one brother was the protector, the other one not so much.
Their home.
That was probably my freshman or sophomore year in college. So about 2 years ago. He was in high school already, my brother. But ever since then, it's just, our house is weird. My dad, he was pissed when I decided to not play football anymore. Or, it really wasn't my fault, but whatever. So, ever since then, like, I don't know, communication is just weird.
Well, that's what I want to get to. I know it's never what it looks like. It never is. Just because of what happened. Unfortunately, in our line of work, you get so cynical to where it's helpful because you know not to believe the first thing that you hear and to look further. And that's what we want to do. And I can tell that there's more going on here than what it appears. But we don't have any way to know other than if you tell us. And if we have the whole picture, it makes everything more understandable to everyone, because everyone's going to draw conclusions right away just from what they see, and that's wrong. But that's what people do. We are not going to, because, like I said, unfortunately, we see it so often. We know that the first thing we see is not it. Clearly, we can hear your brother. He's very upset. And I hope to God when we go in and talk there that he will tell us the full story. And that's what I want. That's what we want. We don't want to have anything happen that doesn't need to. And we're going to do a full investigation. We're going to check everything. We're going to check like cell phones, and we're going to check records and everything. But if you can give us some guidance from the beginning of exactly what happened, the courts, the district attorney, everybody takes that fully into consideration, because it can't be what it just looks like, because that doesn't make any sense.
So he's basically saying it can't be that you guys just decided on a humbug to attack your parents, because that would make no sense. My question, another thing that doesn't make any sense, if you did this and thought you were going to get to the other side of this situation, you were still in the home, you had no organization, maybe you had weapons, but I don't know. It is kind of a crazy situation, because y'all were just sitting there. It wasn't like you tried to get away. It wasn't like you made the phone call to call the police and say someone broke in. Nothing. It was just the mother called and y'all came up there and took the phone from her. Like, what the heck was y'all doing?
If you would just help us understand the whole picture. That's all we want.
Have you ever, I think, collectively, all me and him have ever wanted is it's just like their approval.
I understand that.
until I went to college, I did everything that my dad wanted me to do because we didn't have a relationship. We did it outside of football. That was it. I mean, when I got to college, I realized, I don't even like football like that. I don't want to be at a school. I'm just here because my dad wanted me to play football. I decided that, okay, I don't want to be in Charleston anymore. It's 7, and I don't know if you're thinking about Charleston, South Carolina, because a lot of people get that misconstrued, but it's Charleston, West Virginia, which is like 8 hours away.
Yeah, I thought South Carolina.
It's like 8 hours away. I was going to school, working, playing football, and I was just stressed. So I was like, I can't do that.
Were you paying for college too?
Yes, sir. I would have panic attacks. It would be days where I couldn't sleep because you're up 3 days in a row trying to get all your work done. 4.0.
So you saying the homework can do it?
What was your major?
Political science.
Yeah.
It's not an easy course.
That's a lot.
And the reason why I left and went to Valdosta was because they were going to offer me more scholarship money to where I wouldn't have to work. My dad didn't want me to leave Charleston. But I was like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. And then when the scholarship with Valdosta fell through, I had hope. So like school was still paid for, but I mean I wasn't playing football anymore. And like I said, that was really kind of the only thing we connected on.
Be sure to follow our channel, Serious Subjects with Commentary, at SS with Comments. Find us on YouTube. This video is sponsored by Kush Online, your home for cute, comfortable, curvy wear. Kush takes the stress out of getting dressed.
Since then?
Yeah. So I ended up, like I said, I was at Valdosta. The relationship really did improve.
Were you playing football at Valdosta without the scholarship?
Just going to school. Just going to school. Yeah. Just had an academic scholarship.
And that probably made him. Was he pissed off about that?
Yeah, they were pissed. They were pissed, but I mean, they offered to pay for school or for whatever part that Hope didn't cover, and I worked and paid for everything else. And then I transferred to Georgia State, just because as a political science major, it's more opportunity in Atlanta for future law students than in Valdosta. There's no.
Oh yeah.
The interrogator goes on to ask Chris whether his relationship with his dad improved after he transferred schools, and if he still wanted his sons to play football. Zachary, who played football in college himself, was apparently disappointed in his son's decisions.
Like, he was upset with my brother. My brother was in the band. He really didn't like that. So he was like, so, come back home, Georgia State is a little bit more expensive. My parents, by no means are they rich. By no means do they have, all of the. In college, you meet a lot of people with a lot more than you.
Yeah.
And that's okay with me. I have friends with trust funds and their parents have secretaries and they drive brand new Maseratis and stuff like that. And that's cool. But my parents don't have that. They do have, but they've showed me how to do a budget. They've showed me how to work with their budget, Mm-hmm. And when I first went to Georgia State, they told me we will pay X amount of money for your school. You have to figure the rest out. That's fine.
So that sounds fair. Not only does that sound fair, this sounds like it's just about money.
That's what I did. Then it cut back to, last year I think they gave me $500 for school. Georgia State's like $11,000 a year. So I had to take out a bigger loan. And then they claim me on the taxes like they paid for it. They claimed the whole amount, which blows me. I had a car, but they told me that when he graduated, I was going to have to take on my car payments. Well, car payments on a brand new 2014 car, I can't make that and pay for school and pay for insurance and pay for my phone bill and pay for...
So
Sounds like he should have stayed at Virginia and played football so he could have gotten the stipend that they give based on what level or what division you're at, and stayed where he has some scholarship money. I mean, it sounds like an entitled kid who did the ultimate because he couldn't get what he wanted.
So far, Chris has told investigators 3 factors that could have played into the motive for the attack. First, Chris may have felt that his brother needed his protection. Second, Chris felt he wasn't enough for his parents. In seeking their approval, he reveals that he often found himself on the receiving end of his father's disappointment. Third, Chris was under an enormous amount of stress. Between work, school, and football, he simply couldn't keep up. Chris then reveals to investigators that the main cause for his stress at school was money.
I can't make that and pay for school and pay for insurance and pay for my phone bill.
Chris's frustration over money aligns with the motive that Yvonne suggested in her 911 call.
So I don't know what's going on.
Say it again, ma'am. I can't hardly hear you.
I said I don't know why they've done this. I really don't. I guess they assume they want the insurance money. I'm not sure.
Did the brothers want to kill their parents for insurance money? If so, detectives need to know if Cameron was under the same financial stressors as his older brother, or if it was solely Chris's financial needs that allegedly motivated the attack.
And while I've been gone, I was talking to my brother. He said, their relationship has gotten progressively worse since I've been gone. And it's like times where we all live in the same house, but we won't see each other or talk to each other for days at a time. Like if they go out of town, my mom texted my brother that she was leaving to go out of town. Like, well, that's cool, but if we all live together
In the same house.
in the same house,
And she
a text message.
We're going out of town. That's pretty cool.
and he's 17. Well, he's graduated from high school, but
17, man, you're still a kid, and your mom texts you that she's leaving.
I don't know.
Is he a senior?
He just graduated.
Oh,
He was supposed to be going to the Navy in January.
In just a few months, Cameron would be following in his older brother's footsteps by leaving home to join the military. However, Cameron doesn't express the same financial concerns as his brother. The 17-year-old tells his story from a more emotional place.
Do you feel like talking to us? Because your brother was very honest with us, and we know a lot has gone on. And we talked to him about your parents and forgiveness and how things have been at your home. And we wanted to give you an opportunity to just tell us whatever you want to tell us. And just so you know, when you came here, your parents were okay. Your father's going to be in the hospital for a while. But when we came in here, he was doing okay. I'm sure he could be better. But that's what your brother went a long way to explaining. And he wants to see you again. And we're going to let you see each other. That should make you feel, does that make you feel a little bit better? I think it does. He told us about growing up at your house from his perspective. Is there anything you want to tell us about that?
This is kind of weird.
At my house. Sometimes it was easy, sometimes it was very hard.
Why is that?
I mean, I know I get out of control sometimes, and I have to.
He told us he felt like your dad never treated you very well because you didn't play football. Did you feel like that?
Played football when I was younger. When I quit, he acted like he didn't want me to be the son anymore. And then,
Wow.
finally, my freshman year, I got back on the team. I hated
So, guys, what he just said is that his daddy acted as if he did not want him to be his son anymore because he did not play football. And that when he got to be a freshman, I think in high school, that he got back on the team to make his dad happy, but he hated it.
it so much, but it made him happy. But I love music, and when I got back in band, I wouldn't even come to the game sometimes.
He told us one thing. He said that once your family was going out, your parents were going out of town, and they sent you a text to tell you.
Yeah.
How'd that make you feel? I knew how it made me feel when I heard it. Is that kind of symbolic of the way things were?
Yeah. Have you ever heard the song Super Rich Kids by Frank Ocean?
I haven't. No.
Super rich kids. Too many bottles of wine they can't pronounce. Too many white lies and white lines. Super rich kids with nothing but fake friends. Super rich kids. That's what my life was. I saw my parents 3 times a week if I was lucky. They're always gone. When I do see them, sometimes they're excited to see me, but sometimes they're just really mean to me. I don't know why. I'm trying. They wanted me to get out the house. They wanted me to do something to enlist for the Navy. Just wasn't enough. I don't know. Just wasn't supposed to happen.
He told us that y'all turned the gas on last night, and it just didn't work.
I told you we did it.
No, he just kind of said the gas. He was kind of vague, but that the gas was turned on and put candles out.
By placing emphasis on the word we, Cameron implies one brother may have played a smaller role in the crime than the other. Unbeknownst to Cameron, Chris has already told the detectives they committed the crimes together.
We are going to let you see your brother today. Just, can you tell us what happened?
Honestly, we just wanted to blow the house up. To start over the house, we're missing so many bad things.
Mm-hmm.
Blow the house up and start over. But it didn't work. We waited all night and it didn't work. And then we were.
So he said they wanted to blow the house up. Wow. Because you was in there too, bruh. And then he said after waiting all night to try to blow the house up, it didn't work. Yeah, they wasn't too smart with this here plan, especially if they was trying to get to the other side. He said they wanted to blow the house up and start over. Like, what?
Like, well, the whole house smells like gasoline. And there's candles that kind of burn the carpet in certain places.
Mm-hmm.
How are we going to explain this? And then it was like, well, it's too late now.
Chris details the events leading up to the night of the attack against his parents. Throughout his confession, Chris uses the word "we," implicating both himself and his younger brother.
It's my parents' favorite show.
Really?
It's their favorite show. They watch it every Tuesday. Like, they sit together. They come home early on Tuesday so they can watch the show. And I was like, Cameron, they watch the haves and the have-nots, bro. They're gonna know we tried to burn down the house.
And your brother's very upset and emotional. I can hear him. Do you think if you go in there and maybe give him a hug and stuff, talk to him for a few minutes, that will be helpful?
Yes, sir.
Because I think we can do that. Or if you could just kind of tell us real quick what happened this morning after it didn't work out in the gun thing. Did they just start?
After it didn't work out, we were gonna go up there and tell them that somebody broke into the house and we needed to get out.
Yeah, this sounds
But
like
then-
an Menendez
That didn't
situation.
seem like a very believable idea. So we were like, we kind of already started this. We gotta finish it. We thought asphyxiation would work. And it didn't. And then we kind of started fighting. I mean, but then when you fight your parents, I mean, I don't think anybody
Imagines that. Thank you for telling us what happened. I know it seems really bad right now. But things are going to work out. We'll talk to your parents. Do you want to talk to like I said, your brother?
Before the detectives allow the brothers to reunite, they want to hear Cameron's side of the story. Soon, they find that Cameron shows a strong allegiance to his older brother, but the story he paints is dramatically different.
Last night, me and my parents got into it. And me and my dad, both got these horrible tempers. And we got into it and something just snapped. Tried to suffocate him. Kill Dad.
Cameron blames himself for the attack, leaving his older brother out almost entirely.
And he didn't say nothing about blowing nothing up, or did he?
Was the best.
So is that not right what your brother said? Y'all started fighting last night?
My dad got into it. My Chris tried to calm me down. He's always trying to separate us. He's the most calm, level-headed one. I tried to sleep it off, but I couldn't. It was like, I don't know, it's like my body was moving around, but I was just watching for the ride.
Was he trying to create an insanity defense?
I grabbed the gun.
So mom was right. He had the gun.
Hit him in the eye.
Your brother or your dad?
My brother.
So what was with the gas and the candles?
I figured if I was gonna kill him, I might as well just cover the evidence. So I turned on the gas, tried to light candles, packed a bag. Came back inside. Where's mom? Where's mom? Looking around. My dad's still on the floor.
This is the
She's
part we
upstairs on the
heard.
phone. Fucking tackled her. Like everything was phone. Joker.
Tell us their favorite show was The Have and Have Not.
I haven't have not, so I couldn't stand it. They always say, hey, come watch it with us, come watch it with us.
Did your brother do any of this? Or is he trying to protect you?
He's always trying to protect me. Everything that happened to him is because of me. When he got in trouble with my parents, he's covering up for me. Every time something happens, he covers up for me. Like, I can't let him cover up for me this time.
So did he help you turn on the gas and put the candles out?
You know, I did that all myself.
But you turned the gas on last night?
Gas on this morning.
This morning
This
too.
morning.
Because the way he was telling it seemed like he was involved with the thing. But if you could give us a timeline of how it went, if he's just trying to protect you.
About, let's see, got into it last night. Me and my dad, before they went to sleep, they got home from a football game. It was about 11 or 12.
Why did Amazon send me $20,000? Because I use Amazon AI. I'm going to show you a way to potentially make money.
Chris calms me down. I go upstairs, he goes downstairs, everybody goes to sleep. But couldn't sleep. Something just snapped. Take my pillow, I go to my parents' room. About 4 in the morning. Trying to smother my dad. I smothered my dad. My mom wakes up, tries to pull me off of him. It hurt. My dad tries to get back on me. But I know where he keeps the shotgun. So I go for it.
At no time during Cameron's confession does he mention the money woes his older brother described to investigators. He doesn't present a true motive for his actions, despite taking full blame for the attack. Cameron makes it clear to investigators that he's willing to take the fall for his older brother.
But he said that his dad was always after him, that he was upset with him for not playing football and for being in the band, and that his brother is always covering for him. So apparently, to me, that's motive.
Grabbed the next one, I just stabbed him, kept stabbing him, stabbing him, kept stabbing him, kept stabbing him. Chris comes upstairs and here's what's going on. He tries to pull me off. I hit him with the shotgun. He goes down.
But when the mother was on the phone, she actually said she hears both the boys. And she mentioned them together, acting together. She never mentioned one versus the other. And when she said they were looking for her, she said they.
I got rid of my tracks now. Just killed my dad. choked my mom out. So I turned on the gas, light some candles, turned on the car.
Now, the younger brother who Chris described as fragile is depicting himself as a violent, malicious mastermind. Detectives continue to question Cameron about his actions and motives, all while wondering which brother is actually telling the truth. Sibling relationships, especially between siblings involved in violent crimes, can be complicated. A 2014 study performed in Sweden found that violent criminal behavior in siblings occurs largely because of family dynamics and environmental factors such as poverty, divorce, or lack of parental supervision. The major consistency between the brothers' confessions is the feeling that they both lacked attention and support from their parents. Feelings of abandonment could have led them to plan the violent crime they committed. The study also found that older siblings more commonly transmit risks of violent acts to their younger siblings rather than the other way around. The closer the siblings are in age, the more likely it is that this influence over the younger sibling can occur. Closeness in age is not the only factor that determines a younger sibling's vulnerability in the risk of following their older sibling's violent behaviors. The researchers also discovered that the nature of the relationship itself plays a monumental role in whether both siblings become violent. In the Irvin brothers' case, Cameron looked up to and adored his big brother.
It's my best friend.
Your brother.
Just looking out for me when I was a kid.
Oh, I want you to hang in there. You guys are going to get past this, okay? You want to see him for a minute? Your brother?
Finally, the detectives allow the brothers to see each other. Now that the brothers are reunited, Chris instinctively assumes the role of big brother by hugging Cameron, patting his head, and assuring him that it will all be okay. He asks his younger brother to tell the truth about his involvement.
I don't want the truth, bro. Mom and Dad are both fine, so we could just be for real. They're real helpless if we cooperate. This was a bad idea. But it's okay.
He said it's okay, but it was a bad idea. So he didn't say whose idea it was, but clearly they were acting in concert with one another. Consoling his little brother, and it's okay.
Just tell them the truth, bro. That's it.
That's it.
You made a bad decision.
You made a bad decision. That's all right, though. I love you, man.
Throughout their time together in the interrogation room, most of what the brothers say to one another is inaudible. However, it seems Chris wants this to end one way or another. Chris has already implicated them both in the crime, and he asks his brother to do the same thing.
Listen to me. Listen to me. These officers come in here and ask you what happened again. Just tell them the truth. It's going to show when they look at the house for evidence. You know what I'm saying? Mom and Dad were witnesses to everything that happened. I helped. Okay? You do not do that on your own. And don't try to take that on. I'm not going to let you. You feel me?
I wonder did he make plans to have it on the younger brother since he's just 17,
Like I said,
and that he'll be communicated as a
people
child.
when they come in and ask you, they're probably going to testify against us, but at least there's not going to be murder. Attempted murder, but not murder. It's different. That's what I'm saying. Just be honest. I'm not going to let you do this by yourself.
I guess that is better that it's not murder.
You feel me? Pick it up. And I close it. Hopefully, my mom and dad are okay.
The boys spend over 30 minutes together in the interrogation room. The entire time, Cameron barely speaks. When he does, it's usually away from the camera and in a very hushed tone. Chris, on the other hand, speaks more freely.
We're f***ers for that. They're gonna hate us forever and ever.
The brothers spend a few minutes discussing who they might call and what might happen to them.
I don't even know who I will call. I just tried to kill my parents. Nobody's gonna be like, everybody's gonna be like, what the f***, bro? F*** my lives. Why didn't we think about this? But they said they were okay. So I guess that makes it better.
They spend a couple minutes talking about the plans they had for the future, but most of the time, they just talk like normal brothers.
Damn, I want a smoothie so bad right now.
Or they sit in silence.
Smoothie. Are you kidding me?
Alright, Chris.
Eventually, officers come back into the room and escort Chris out, leaving his younger brother alone again in the interrogation room.
These boys ain't got
Both
no
brothers are
clothes or
handcuffed
shoes on.
before leaving together. In the end, one singular motive for the crime was never determined. Although during interrogations neither brother admitted to using Xanax to drug their parents, at their trial, the boys claimed they suffered from a prescription pill addiction in the years leading up to the morning of September 5th. Yvonne and Zachary blamed the drug use, not their sons, for the attack. Chris and Cameron were both charged with 2 counts of felony aggravated assault and first-degree arson, along with several other charges. The DA pushed for the brothers to go away for 30 years, but their parents pleaded with the judge for leniency. Yvonne and Zachary asked the judge to sentence the brothers to 10 years, which is the lightest sentence allowed. Zachary Irvin told the court he saw Satan in the house that night, and he knew the devil, not his sons, was responsible. Since the brothers have been behind bars, Yvonne and Zachary have both paid them visits countless times. In 2016, the Irvins told Good Morning America, "We forgive our boys because that was totally out of character for them. They are not violent." As of 2024, the brothers have served 7 years of their 20-year sentence for the attack against their parents. They'll be eligible for parole in 2036.
Well, guys, that's the presentation for today. They got 20 years for what they did, and they really felt that their parents didn't love them, but for them to beg and plead for them to have a lighter sentence, clearly there was a lot of love there. Because, I mean, they literally tried to take their life, but they blamed it on Satan and not the kids, which, okay. I don't know. I don't know if I was in their shoes, how I would feel. I thank God that I have never had a situation like that with mine. But let me know what you guys think about what they did, about how the situation went, and about the interrogation itself. And we will see you guys in the next video. I thank you so much for taking the time and coming and checking out my channel. Not only do I want you to like this video and share it with people that you may know, be sure to turn on that notification bell so when the next video comes out, you'll be the first to know. Thank you so much and have a good evening. Bye. Be sure to follow our channel, Serious Subjects with Commentary, at SS with Comments. Find us on YouTube.